Hey everybody, Jesse Laval, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a lens review about the Canon EF 70 to 300mm lens. Now, my friend Vince let me borrow this lens. He's had it for quite a while. I've used it on and off over the years that he's had it. I finally got him to let me borrow it, and I've gotten to use it exclusively for a few days. Now, this lens came out in 2005. It's made for the EF full-frame mount. They used 8 rounded aperture blades inside of this, so it does present bokeh really nicely. Now, I'm somebody who shoots with primes most of the time. I'm not used to having any type of zoom, and it's been really nice to have some type of zoom there. It's amazing how you can actually play with the framing of your picture when you don't have to actually use your feet to zoom. So that's been a really nice thing to have that 70 to 300mm focal length. Very versatile, very nice. Now, one really nice thing about having that versatility of 70 to 300mm focal length is the fact that this lens is also very light, so it's easy to just carry around all day. The other nice part about this lens is the fact that the majority of the weight is in the back of the lens, and that makes it balance out really nicely, especially on something like, say, this RP body. I have a really lightweight, really versatile setup here that I can kind of just like hike around, walk around, and as long as I have enough available light, it's gonna get the job done. Now, when it comes to sharpness of this lens, I think it's acceptably sharp. It's not sharp like, say, my 100mm L lens is, but for something that zooms from 70 to 300mm, it's totally fine and totally acceptable. And this lens is made with micro USM autofocus motors. And because of that, it's lightning fast to autofocus. And it's extremely accurate, and it's silent when it autofocuses. So, sounds pretty awesome. Now, the only problem that I've experienced with the autofocus of this lens, and I think it's due to the fact that I'm adapting it to an R body, is once in a while, when I press down on the shutter button, it seems like there's a second of lag before the autofocus motor kicks in. And it's intermittent. Usually it doesn't do that. Usually it's instantaneous when I press it. But once in a great while, I'll press it, nothing happens, and then boom, then the autofocus motor kicks in. So that's been weird. It's happened multiple times. It's happened on both the R6 and the RP body. So I do think it has something to do with the fact that I'm adapting it. That kind of stinks, but it is what it is. I wanted to tell you about it. I don't think that's an issue if you plan to use it on an EF mount camera. My friend uses it on a T7i. He's never complained of it. I'm not aware of him ever having that issue at all. So I don't think that's an issue if you're going to plan to shoot with a native EF mount camera. The stabilization works really well in this lens. It's very easy to hold it, again, because it's light and because the stabilization works very well. You can expect to get down to really nice slow shutter speeds if you need to. Now, the overall build quality of the lens, it's made of plastic, but it feels sturdy. There is no weather sealing, but at a lens at this price point, that's what you could probably expect. Now, this is a variable aperture lens. It runs from f4 to f5.6. So when you're all the way wide to 70mm, you can get f4 aperture and get a decent amount of light onto your sensor. When you zoom all the way out to 300, you're going to be limited to f5.6. Now, overall, what do I think about this lens? I think it's a really nice lens. Now, will I purchase it for myself? Probably not, just because I have an R6 and an RP, so I'm looking to move into RF glass going forward. But if I had a camera body that used the EF mount, I wouldn't hesitate to pick this up in a second. The 70 to 300mm focal length is really nice to have. The sharpness is acceptable. The bokeh is beautiful. I love the way the pictures look. I've seen multiple pictures that my friend's taken, and I've taken a few shots, and the bokeh just presents itself beautifully with the mixture of the compression of 300mm and that 5.6 aperture. It's beautiful. Colors look nice. Everything's good about it. It's lightweight. If you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, walk around all day, and just have like a general purpose, all around good lens, this is definitely going to fit the bill for you. Anyway, guys, if you were considering getting this lens, I hope this video helped you out a little bit. If it did, think about going below, subscribing, clicking the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.